Hey guys, welcome back to this week's Cook with Lisa. Thank you for returning. If you are new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you are returning, give it a big thumbs up and go ahead and leave a comment below. This week we are doing spaghetti and meatballs. Super easy, super delicious, feeds the family, and you always have leftovers. Let's start with preparing the ingredients. Okay guys, so first I'm gonna start with boiling the water. So I start with boiling about 8 cups of water. I'm going to bring it up to a medium-high level just for the boil. And then add about 2 tablespoons of your oil of choice. And then add some salt. Next I'm gonna start with heating up my pan. I'm gonna bring it to a lower temperature because I don't want the oil to get too hot, but I'm gonna add some oil in there. You wanna let that oil heat up as I start with cutting the green, red pepper, and onions. Because they're gonna go into the oil before I start making my meat. You ready? Okay, so now I'm gonna start with my red onion. Okay, so first I'm gonna start with my red onion. You just wanna go ahead and get rid of the center. Just cut around. And then just cut. So I'm going to do about a half of a red pepper. Okay, so before I add the onion, I'm just gonna wash off my peppers to get all the seeds off of them. So guys, my next step is I'm going to throw in the peppers and onions into the saucepan on a low heat and let them start to soften and really get that flavor all mixed together before I add the meatballs in with them. I'm just gonna let them cook and start to soften. So now our next step is we are going to start preparing the meatballs. Okay, so now I'm just gonna toss the meat into my bowl. Add some of this seasoned breadcrumbs. I do about like a half a cup to a cup of breadcrumbs. I eyeball it. Okay, so now I started preparing my meat with the breadcrumbs. I'm gonna go in with the seasoning and some Parmesan cheese. So first I want to sprinkle in some Parmesan cheese, just about maybe like a third of a cup. Not too much, not too little. Next, me personally, I like a little bit of crushed red peppers because I love a little spice to my food. Just a little, a pinch. Next, we are going in with a dash of onion powder, maybe like a teaspoon. Next, garlic salt. Be careful with the garlic salt because garlic's great, but too much salt can ruin your meal. And if you're using seasoned breadcrumbs, then salt is already built into it. Next, we are going in with Italian seasoning. You can be generous with the Italian seasoning because this is an Italian meal. I love the taste of oregano, so just a splash of oregano, then some good old pepper. Okay, so now I'm adding 2 eggs into the meat. Now you wanna get it all put together. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just start making my mini meatballs. Put it in your hand and just squish and roll. This is the fun part, guys. If you had a long day and you're upset, just go roll some meatballs. I'm gonna do some big meatballs, some little meatballs, just because I have kids, and the baby will probably eat like the tiniest meatball. And how about my husband come join me in rolling?
No, thank you, babe.
My producer over there doesn't want to help me roll. Okay guys, so now I'm about to drop the meatballs into the pan with the onions and peppers. The reason why I really want to do this is because them simmering all together and cooking together will create a beautiful, tasteful meatball. Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't want to be one of the nameless. And then I'm just going to take some, throw them on top to make some more room and let all that cook together. Gordon Ramsay, if you're out there, let me know if cooking this way is the correct way of making meatballs. My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to. So now my water is finished boiling and I'm gonna add the spaghetti into its water. I'm just gonna add a handful of spaghetti. Maybe a handful and a half of spaghetti. Once when the ends start to soften, you want to just slowly stir it all in together and then let it boil for about 15 minutes or until your liking. So now that this has softened, we want to just slowly push it in. And now I'm gonna set a timer for about 10 minutes just to check on it. This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. Okay guys, so while the meatballs are cooking in the pasta, I'm gonna start preparing our bread. Alright, so now you want to take your pieces, lay them flat, get your butter of choice, and then spread it lightly or generously on your bread. Okay, now that the butter is finished, we're going to sprinkle on some Parmesan cheese. After that, go in with some garlic, salt. Remember, be careful with the salt. Add some red peppers if you like a little kick. And then of course, to top it all off, some oregano. So now that is all beautifully mixed together, I'm gonna put it off the side because my noodles are almost ready to be checked again. So now I am uncovering the meatballs and I'm getting ready to flip them. Cover the meatballs back up for an additional 10 minutes and then we'll check the insides to make sure they are cooked through. Once when we are getting ready to drain the noodles, put the sauce in, then I will go ahead and stick my bread in the oven for about 5 to 10 minutes. So now I'm gonna leave the top off to give them a little more of a crisp before I put the sauce in. So now we're just gonna head over to check our pasta. Perfect. Now that the pasta, all the water is out of the pasta, I'm gonna add butter, garlic, salt, and a little bit of seasoning for the noodles while it's still in there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and transfer them into the pot with the meatballs. Some onion powder. So now I'm going in with onion powder, garlic salt, and some pepper. Now that my meatballs are done and they're crisp, I'm going to add in ragu, chunky tomato, garlic, and onion sauce into with my meatballs and then add some additional ingredients. So after that, I'm gonna add some Parmesan cheese. I like to add sugar into my spaghetti. Let me know in the comments below. Are you sugar doesn't belong in spaghetti or for sugar belonging in spaghetti? So now I'm just gonna take a little bit of half and half. You can use milk if that's your preference or a heavy cream, whatever you desire. I'm gonna put a little bit in this jar just to get all the sauce and to thicken up my sauce. Gonna add in some garlic salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning. Put the noodles in and then let it simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes. Alright, so now you just want to top it off with a little bit more Parmesan cheese. Let it sit for about 10 minutes, let the bread cook, and then dinner will be served. Alright guys, so this is how I make my famous spaghetti and meatballs. If you try it, let me know in the comments if you think it tastes delicious. If you are new, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment in below your famous spaghetti and meatball recipe. Maybe I'll try it out. So I will see you guys next week on Cooking with Lisa. Top notch. Bye guys.